A very good morning, dear students. I welcome you all to the session on UML and introduction. And in today's session, we will be discussing about why we need to model, what are the principles of modeling, what is UML, what are the conceptual model of UML. So we will be discussing about the building blocks of UML, what are the rules, and what are the common mechanisms associated with UML. So first and the foremost thing, why we are studying UML, the reason is because we want to model. Now, why do we want to model? So what is meant by modeling? Okay. So modeling is actually, we are all software engineers. And if you can relate, like when you try to build a particular building, right? A building or a particular home or house is to be constructed, there is a blueprint. We do not directly go and start take the bricks, or we don't put the bricks together and चार दीवारें नहीं बनाते हम, we just start ऐसे randomly start नहीं करते. So we make a plan, right? कि where has to be the door, where has to be the entrance, where how many floors have to be there. Okay. तो वी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ड्रेनेज सिस्टम कहाँ से होगा, पाइप सिस्टम कहाँ से होगा, बाथरूम्स कहाँ पे होंगे. ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल वी नीड टू मॉडल बिकॉज we are actually going for a real domain. Okay, so we are going for a real domain. We are going for a real domain. So when we do this modeling, okay, so when we do this modeling, we simplify reality. Okay, we simplify reality means what? We capture the requirements, ki what is expected. Obviously, we cannot have a house without a roof. So can we have a house without a roof? No. The most important thing is, अगर हमको house बनाना है, तो we have our requirements, right? हम ऐसे ही कपड़े का मकान या फिर पुट्ठे का मकान या फिर कार्डबोर्ड का, थर्माकोल का ऐसे नहीं बनाते. एवरीवेयर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स आर डिफरेंट. सो पहले हम रिक्वायरमेंट्स गैदर करते हैं, रियलिटी क्या है वो देखते हैं. अगर हम रह रहे हैं एक्चुअली कहीं स्नोफील्ड एरिया में, तो वहां पे इग्लू होता है. अगर हम रह रहे हैं अराउंड द बीच, तो द हाउसेज आर of different types, the roofs are sloping, right? Okay, so everywhere the requirements are different. और उसके बाद okay, so what do we do कि हाँ ऐसे दिखेगा, ऐसे बनेगा. उसके बाद we are able to slightly get हाँ a picture in the mind, that is a mental picture. Yes, कि ये हमारा जो घर है जो हम बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ये ऐसे ऐसे दिखेगा, right? So what do we actually do कि we specify the structure or behavior of the system. Obviously structure means क्या, ये एक घर होगा, इसके अंदर 4 रूम्स होंगे, या फिर इसके अंदर ये वॉशरूम्स होंगे, टेरेस होगा, गार्डनिंग एरिया होगा, तो ऐसे हम पार्किंग एरिया होगा. ये सब हम चीजें we chalk out these things, right? Why? तो because we want to live there. We are doing that because we want to fulfill some requirements, right? हमको कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, कुछ फंक्शनैलिटीज है. ऐसा कोई फायदा है क्या पूरा घर है पर घर को छती नहीं है? तो नो, नहीं चलेगा. बिकॉज बिहेवियर भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. बिहेवियर किस चीज का? जो ऑब्जेक्ट है, जो घर है. तो बिहेवियर क्या है? प्रोटेक्शन, द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. अब प्रोटेक्शन किससे? तो प्रोटेक्शन फ्रॉम क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस, प्रोटेक्शन फ्रॉम एक्सटर्नल पीपल, सो इट कैन बी रॉबरर्स. हम ऐसे बना सकते हैं क्या घर विदाउट डोर्स, और घर ओपन डोर्स, नो डोर्स आर देयर, नो गेट इज देयर. विदाउट डोर्स कैन बी कंस्ट्रक्ट कि हाँ हम दीवार नहीं. हाँ, एक प्लेस है जहाँ पे लॉट ऑफ इट इज रिलेटेड टू the religious aspect, that particular city is having no doors, ऐसे बोलते हैं. Okay, because the god is going to protect that. But if you talk about reality and if you capture the real time requirements, so obviously there is some behavioral aspect of the system. Okay, so now I gave you an example of house. So now coming to the software. So what is the basic question when we are talking about UML? So is UML only for software, or is it only for non-software? Obviously by now you know ki UML we are learning because we are into software engineering and we are going to develop softwares at one particular point of time in our careers. So is UML only for software? No. UML is basically a unified modeling language, and the language is not only for software systems but also for non software systems. So, dear students, kindly note that the UML that we are learning right now is not only for software applications, software products, but using UML, you can model non-software systems also. So like the way I explained you, there can be a UML for constructing the house. There can be a UML for constructing the traffic system. There can be a UML for constructing the working of the ATM machine, the banking operations. Therefore, why do we model? Because we see that we need to daily in our real life work with n number of objects, and the objects can be software applications, they can be products, they can be non-software entities. So therefore, why we model? Because through this modeling, okay, because through this modeling we get the design solution कि हमारे आंखों के सामने एक थोड़ा सा पिक्चर, एक सोल्यूशन निर्माण होता है जिससे हमको एनालाइज कर सकते हैं कि हाँ ये ऐसे होगा, ये ऐसे काम कर सकता है। क्योंकि दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है कि वो स्ट्रक्चर क्या है और वो बिहेव कैसे करता है। स्ट्रक्चर मीन्स द स्टैटिक एस्पेक्ट एंड बिहेवियर मीन्स द डायनामिक एस्पेक्ट। ओके, डायनामिक जिस जो हर बार बदलता है और स्टैटिक का मतलब है जो बिल्कुल नहीं बदलता। ओके, सो व्हाई डू वी मॉडल? So we model because we analyze the problem domain. We need to simplify the reality. We need to capture the real-time requirements. We visualize the system in its entirety. Okay, and then we specify the structure and behavior of the system. So, इसी तरह से, if I ask you, you are doing a mini project now. So why we have to do this modeling? Because we want to simplify the mini project into the reality aspect of it. We want to capture the requirements, like what is the mini project or your project going to solve, what is it trying to achieve, what are the functions that it is going to do, and we have to visualize, okay, so I am wishing to develop this, so what will the system look like, कैसे काम करेगा, कैसे दिखेगा, किसके साथ interact करेगा. So this covers the structure and the behavior of the system. Okay, so it actually, this modeling provides the design solution. Okay, so what is this design solution? Document the solution in terms of its structure and behavior. Means agar मैं बोलती हूँ structure means what? As I said, if I take the example of the house that I took just now, what is the structure of the house? Yes, it is it a mud house? Is it a cement house? Is it a igloo? What is the material? What is the height? What is the number of rooms? What is the carpet area? So when we talk about these dimensions, we say it is the structure. Okay, and now when we talk about the behavior, so behavior, what is the functionality of protection? Protection from climatic conditions, protection from external enemies. Okay, so everywhere the structural and the behavioral things are to be thought of. Now, I will just give you an example of this house. Okay, you must be knowing this 9/11 attacks that was happened on the Twin Towers, like, and it was the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks was Osama bin Laden. Okay, so why am I taking this example? Like I gave you an example right now of the house, right? कि अगर हमको एक घर बनाना है, तो we just think about the building, or we think about a flat, right? We don't think about a bungalow or something. Like हर एक का requirements अलग होता है. So as I said, now you need protection. तो प्रोटेक्शन किससे? फर्स्ट इज द क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस, ओके, जो हम जिसके लिए हम घर में रहते हैं, एंड वी एज नॉर्मल ह्यूमन बीइंग्स डू नॉट हैव एनी थ्रेट फ्रॉम एनीवन. Okay, at the most the robbers, okay, because of this unemployment, the robberies and the thefts have increased. But I giving you specific example of Osama bin Laden because uh, if you see, Osama bin Laden had constructed, like how the people of America were able to find out the location of Osama bin Laden was only because of the structural requirements that he had डिजाइंड हिज हाउस. ओके, तो ओसामा बिन लादेन जहां से उसको अटैक किया गया था, वो जो हाउस था, उस हाउस का, हमारे हाउस का नॉर्मल कंपाउंड वॉल का हाइट क्या होगा? एक अज्यूम करो 4 फीट, राइट? मैक्सिमम 4 फीट, 2 फीट, राइट? सॉरी, नॉट 2 फीट, लेकिन 6 फीट तक होता है हमारा कंपाउंड वॉल. तो कंपाउंड वॉल होता है, उसके बाद लाइक वी डोंट हैव अ कॉन्सेंट्रिक कंपाउंड वॉल्स, राइट? तो the difference what was observed to the satellite imaging of the houses that was where he was staying is that the first suspicious activity, the house wherein Osama bin Laden was living had a huge compound wall which size was actually equal to a building of 6 floors. 6 फ्लोर्स जितनी बिल्डिंग की हाइट होती है, उतना कंपाउंड वॉल था उस मेंशन नहीं बोल सकते, वो आउटस्कर्ट्स में, पाकिस्तान के कैंप बेस के बाजू में ही वो रहता था, और उसकी जो हाइट थी वो ऑलमोस्ट 6 फ्लोर्स कंपाउंड, 6 फ्लोर्स बिल्डिंग की जितनी हाइट होती है उतनी हाइट थी. कॉन्सेंट्रिक लेयर्स में थी. मींस पहले कंपाउंड वॉल बड़ा वाला, उसके बाद अंदर से कंपाउंड वॉल, और उसके बाद सो एवरीथिंग एवरीथिंग उसमें, वो घर में ना कोई इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी था, देयर वाज नो कनेक्शन. Okay, it was total connectionless house. Whatever peoples were coming, they were only the people who could come in and go out. Okay, so it had a farm inside. Whatever meat, whatever chickens, everything that he required was grown inside that particular acres of land where he was staying. Okay, so this is the difference. And obviously, let me tell you to your knowledge that Osama bin Laden was an engineer. He used his complete engineering mind in planning the attack. तो सोचो इंजीनियर क्या मीन्स, इंजीनियर विद अ रॉन्ग मोटिव्स क्या कर सकता है उसको. ही वॉज वेरी इंटेलिजेंट, where he used all the mechanics, all the civil knowledge that he had in breaking. Means आज तक जिस तरीके से वो अटैक हुआ है, okay, through air, there is no parallel attack that has happened in the world. Okay, because we see simple, जैसे अभी like currently you see वजे issue is going on कि गाड़ी कैसे आई, कहाँ पे गई, तो वहां all this has been able to track, right? But when this 9/11 attack was done, इतनी होशियारी से वो प्लान था. In some of my lectures I'll tell that how it was done. But again, why am I telling this? Because he actually went on to capture the requirements, simplify the reality, visualize कि कैसे होगा, किस तरीके से होगा, क्या structure होगा, क्या behavior होगा. इसीलिए I am saying that when we are thinking of something, okay, that something can be a operational thing, it can be a non-operational thing. So it can be a process or it can be a non-process activity also. Everything requires modeling. Okay, and the best approach, okay, that is used for modeling is the we follow the principles of modeling. Okay, so what is principles of modeling? So you have to choose your model. So every model may be expressed at different levels of precision. The best models are connected to reality. Like I'm saying, they are simply like simplify the model but don't hide the important details. Like सबसे अच्छा मॉडल क्या है? जो क्रिस्टल क्लियर इमेज देता है कि तुम्हारी सिस्टम, तुम्हारा ये जो फंक्शन तुमने डिसाइड किया है कि तुमको जो अचीव करना है वो कैसे होता है. ओके, सो नो सिंगल मॉडल सफाइसेस. मींस व्हाट कि एक मॉडल से लाइक ऐसे बोलोगे ना कि हमने ये मॉडल डायग्राम निकाल दिया, हो गया. नो, इट इज एन इटरेटिव प्रोसेस. ओके, हर एक का सोचने का तरीका अलग होगा, हर एक का सोचने का डायमेंशन अलग होगा. सो नो सिंगल मॉडल मींस इन अ ग्रुप ऑफ 5 people, everyone is thinking on that particular system, so everyone will have different views, everyone will have different dimensions of thinking to the problem and its solution. So ho sakta hai. So what we are expected to do is we are expected to make a combination of all. और जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि एक सिंगल मॉडल सफाइस नहीं करता, इसीलिए देयर आर डिफरेंट डायग्राम्स व्हिच कैप्चर द रियलिटी ऑफ द सिस्टम. ओके, देयरफॉर then this UML, that is Unified Modeling Language, came into picture. So what is this UML? Okay, so this UML, it's a language. So what language is it? So up till now, you are in third year, you have learned different programming language. So is this a programming language? No, it is not a programming language, but yes, it is a graphical language. What do I mean to say? It is a graphical language, a language of where there are pictorial notations. And who are going to use this? Using this graphical language, the programming team, the programmers, developers are going to code it. So, very important to note, Unified Modeling Language, that is UML, it is a modeling language, not a methodology or a process. Neither it is a programming knowledge, but it is a blueprint for the programming. Kindly note this. I am repeating it. It is a blueprint. Blueprint का मतलब सभी जानते हैं. It is a guide map, it is a sketch, it is a rough visual of how the programmers, how the developers, okay, system designers are expected to develop the particular product. Okay, therefore, it is actually fusing the concepts of Booch, object modeling technique, okay, and now how did this come into picture? Okay, so this UML was first developed by Grady Booch, James Romberg, Ivar Jacobson at Rational Software. Okay, so abhi these were the three people. Now abhi anybody says कि today I am doing a startup, but startup मैं बना रहा हूँ, I want to make a startup. But ऐसे बोलने से you don't become an entrepreneur. Okay, the same way. See, these three people said we have developed a graphical language. Okay, तो हमारी language को accept कर लो. नहीं, ऐसे नहीं होता है. So there are some authorities, like there are some approving agents, approving bodies, approving certifications. Okay, so you have to propose there ki yes, what we have done is novel, it is the very first kind of a thing, and kindly recognize it. So finally, so this particular UML as a modeling language was accepted as a standard by the Object Management Group, which is OMG, in 1997. Okay, so this is not that OMG, like oh my god. Okay, it's Object Management Group, and it was accepted in 1997. Okay, so what is the history of UML? So what is UML in short? Once again, I'll repeat. So UML is Unified Modeling Language. It is a language which is used for softwares and also for non-softwares. Okay, it actually fuses the concepts that were proposed by Booch, primarily and object modeling techniques. So it was developed jointly by three people, that is Grady Booch, James Romberg, and Ivar Jacobson. And it was done at IBM Rational Rose Software. Okay, so that was the group that was where it was actually developed. So finally, this UML as a modeling language was accepted as a well-known standard by the Object Management Group in 1997. Okay, so now more on UML. Now, as we said that UML is a modeling language. Okay, so what is this modeling language for? So this is a modeling language for visualizing. Okay, this is a definition, right? This is a definition. Kindly note this. So UML is a modeling language for visualizing, specifying, constructing, and documenting the artifacts of software system. So once again, I repeat. So UML is a modeling language for visualizing, specifying, constructing, and documenting the artifacts of software system. Okay. So when we say, okay, visualizing, can you see a stand over there wherein a beautiful scene is painted? Okay, with mountains, and then you have some house which is there, then there is a road. So what is that visualizing means? Okay, so visualizing means actually a picture, right? You can see this picture, the portrait, like kind of a thing, a drawing. It's worth 1,000 words. Therefore, this is a very standard proverb, like a picture is worth 1,000 words. So a graphical notation articulates and ambiguously communicates the overall view of the system. That is the problem domain. So this particular image is so self-explanatory. It tells you about the location, it tells you the climate, it tells you the clouds, the cloudy like good cloud is there, the sky is clear, okay, it is, there is a lot of greenery, the house is there which is away in one particular place and in the vicinity of what you can say nature, far away from pollution. You can see there are no traffics, there is no pollution, there are no vehicles, okay. You can think of this somewhere in the outskirts. So all this you can imagine, right, कि ये picture देख के all these things come to your mind कि ये यहाँ पे होगा ऐसा. So can anybody tell me कि यहाँ पे rain हो रहा है? No. But if drops are shown there, you can tell that yes, it is raining. And if someone shows that ki sun is also there and it's raining, so somewhere around there will be a rainbow. Okay, so the main objective of UML is to make the users or the people involved in it to visualize. Now, what to visualize? Visualize the system, the problem domain, and how it is done. Obviously, UML as a language has some graphical notations, has some graphical symbols, and through those symbols, it communicates the overall view of the system. Okay, so you know that there are some icons. Okay, like for messaging, there is an icon. For WhatsApp, there is an icon. So what does this say? Do we make mix up? So through icons, right? Through icons, logos, we come to know, yes, this, you are on Facebook. Like we are clicking Facebook, we are clicking Insta. Because yes, those are icons. And वो icons से हमको पता चलता है कि yes, this is for Instagram, this is for Facebook, this is for WhatsApp. We don't mix it, right? So same way, in this particular UML language, you are not going to learn the syntax. Okay, कि इस function का syntax कैसे है? No, you are not going to learn that. What are you going to learn is what is the graphical notation. Like if I want to say that there is one object, okay, there is another object, and the both object have a relationship. So how do I show that relationship? I show that relationship by simple joining those two squares. Okay, so how do I first represent the object? I represent the object as a rectangle. So a rectangle which is divided by three compartments. Then a line joining those two objects shows that yes, there is some connection, there is some communication between two objects. If there is no line, it means that yes, the object is a part of the system, but there is no direct contact. I hope you are understanding. Now, moving ahead. So when we say specifying, okay, so when we say specifying means use UML provides the means to model precisely, unambiguously, and completely the system in question. Okay, so I repeat, when you say that UML is for visualizing, specifying. So what to specify? So precisely, unambiguously, and completely, it tries to model the system in question. Okay, ki what actually it is going to do, how much it is going to do. Like if I say it is for a this particular application is for some users. So is it for one to one user? Is it for one to many users? And if it is for many users, what is that many number? So clearly, precisely, and very completely, UML provides, okay, that instructions through specifying what it actually wants. The third important thing, constructing. Models built with UML have a design dimension to it. These are language independent and can be implemented in any programming language. Okay, so basically, UML is for modeling. Okay, for what? Anything. Okay, any programming language. So basically, if you have the blueprint, how you have to see the things work, you can construct it. Construction कैसे भी हो सकता है. Construction can be with of any material. So programming language is independent. It can be done in Python, it can be done in Java, it can be done in any C or C++. So constructing means the models built with UML have a design dimension to it. These are language independent and can be implemented in any programming language. It is up to the developers, up to the people who are developing the software. बस UML क्या करेगा कि हाँ, हमको ये सिस्टम है, इसके ये फंक्शनैलिटी है, ये स्ट्रक्चरल कंपोनेंट्स है, हमको ऐसे चीज बनाना है. कैसे बनाना है, कब बनाना है, किस चीजों को लेके बनाना है, that is entirely the job of the developers. Okay. And the last aspect, documentation, जो सबसे important है. Why we are doing this now? Why the industry follows this UML approach? Because the very simple reason कि as you see, कोई भी employee एक कंपनी में 3 साल से, ओके, आजकल ये ट्रेंड हो गया कि 3 साल में एक कंपनी करेंगे, उसके बाद स्विच करेंगे. तो 3 साल पे एक एम्प्लॉय एक प्रोजेक्ट में रहता है, वो उस पे काम करता है, वो उस पे चेंजेस करता है. तो क्या चेंजेस करता है? ऑब्वियसली जब एक कंपनी एक कस्टमर के लिए प्रोडक्ट बनाती है तो वो कंपनी 3 साल के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे नहीं बनाती. इट इज अ लाइफ टाइम प्रोडक्ट along with maintenance and all. So maybe that कि one particular person was a part of the project team, he was developing it. तो बाद में जाके requirements बढ़ गए. अभी का जो सिस्टम है वो it is designed for 1000 users, पर आगे जाके lakhs of users को हैंडल करना है. तो वो चेंजेस कौन करेगा? उसका कोड जो लिखा है वो कहाँ है लिखा है, कैसे पता चलेगा? और अचानक से जिस पर्सन ने वो कोड किया है मे बी उसके साथ कुछ हो जाता है, तो कैसे पता चलेगा? सो द ओनली आंसर इज डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. So every software project involves a lot of documentation from the inception phase to the deliverables. Okay, and documentation industry के लोग software में एक दो बार कुछ ऊपर नीचे चल सकता है, पर documentation में बिल्कुल नहीं. The day one the project starts, okay, the kickoff of the project is done. Lot of documentation is there because they don't believe on people. People are there today, people may go tomorrow. What will be with them is the documentation. ऐसे बहुत बार होता है कि जो प्रोजेक्ट इनिशिएट करता है, जो प्रोडक्ट लाता है, वो कुछ सालों के बाद खुद वो प्रोजेक्ट का पार्ट नहीं होता है, राइट? तो फिर अल्टीमेटली कैसे पता चलेगा? जो नए नए लोग आए हैं, they will come to know through documentation. Okay, so I hope this part is clear what has been said. So what is UML? So UML is a modeling language for visualizing, okay, specifying exactly what is required, constructing Q, because if you give this blueprint, any person, maybe a person with a programming knowledge, a non-programmer can construct it, and then finally documenting the entire process, entire modules, entire functionalities, artifacts of the system. Okay, so now documentation among others. Okay, so as I said, UML provides notation for documenting some of these artifacts, that is requirements, the design and the tests. Okay, now before we move ahead, as we had discussed, like what is UML, the definition of UML, and now we will be just seeing what is the conceptual model of UML. Okay, so when we say the conceptual model of UML means what? What are the building blocks of UML? Okay, so what are there in this rules? Okay, what is there in common mechanism? We are going to see that, and then we are going to see what are the building blocks of UML. Okay, so when we say the conceptual model of UML, okay, so conceptual model of UML, see anything like you are developing something. Abhi you are told to do a project. तो कुछ स्टूडेंट्स हैव गॉन थ्रू सम एस्टैब्लिश्ड प्रोडक्ट्स, और कुछ स्टूडेंट्स के दिमाग में कुछ है, राइट, कि मेरा ये कंसेप्ट है. कंसिडर अ फिल्म, राइट, कंसिडर अ फिल्म. तो फिल्म में कैसे होता है कि कंसेप्ट होता है कुछ, तो स्टोरी लाइन होती है. तो एवरीथिंग maybe a software, maybe a film, maybe an application, anything. Anything has a concept. Okay, so what is the concept? So concept किस चीजों से बनता है? So with respect to UML, so like if we talk about films, तो concept कौन से concept पे है? Societal values पे है, फिर या फिर it is about autobiography, or is it about real time incidents? Okay, like we have seen so many web series, so many movies, but they are having some concept. Okay, so what is the concept? That is the biggest important question that comes to your mind. So आपका mini project है, so what is the concept behind that mini project? Okay, तो building blocks क्या है? So the in that उसके rules क्या है, उसके common mechanisms क्या है? So all these three things with respect to the software becomes the conceptual model of UML. Okay, I hope you have got what is concept, because see UML पहले नहीं आता है, UML बाद में आता है. तो पहले क्या आता है? पहले आता है concept. So from concept you go to UML, and from UML you go to programming. This is the actual way how software industry works. कि कुछ आइडिया होता है, आइडिया पेपर पे आता है, उसको बोलते हैं ना पुट इट ऑन पेपर, पुट इट ऑन पेपर. तो आइडिया एक ब्लूप्रिंट के माध्यम से बाहर एक पेपर पे आता है. तो वो पेपर की जो आइडिया है उसको ग्राफिकल नोटेशंस में कन्वर्ट होते हैं, और फिर वो ग्राफिकल नोटेशंस जाके प्रोग्रामर को दिए जाते हैं, और फिर जाके बनता है एक एप्लीकेशन या फिर एक प्रोडक्ट. Okay, so the building blocks basically includes what are the things in it, relationships क्या है, और diagrams क्या है. Okay, so when we talk about the conceptual model of UML, there are three things that are involved. Okay, कि concept में building blocks क्या है, rules क्या है, और common mechanisms क्या है. Okay, so building blocks include things. Okay, so what are the things involved in it? Yes, कि ये लोग है, ये ऑब्जेक्ट्स है. ओके, दीज आर द थिंग्स. तो उनमें रिलेशनशिप्स क्या है, और फिर द डायग्राम्स, द 9 डायग्राम्स ऑफ UML. ओके, देन रूल्स. व्हाट आर द रूल्स? ओके, कि obviously there has to be some boundary, right? कि even now as assume that we are working online, but ऐसे है क्या कि कभी भी उठ के मैं आपको सिखा सकती हूँ, कभी भी उठ के आप बोलोगे चलो लेक्चर लो, और कभी मेरा मन आएगा तो मैं बोलूंगी चलो मैं अभी लेक्चर ले रही हूँ. नो, ऐसे नहीं होता है. कुछ रूल्स होते हैं जिसको हमको फॉलो करना होता है. लाइक हमको एक टाइम टेबल दिया है, हमको एक स्लॉट दिया है. हम बोल सकते हैं कि मिडनाइट को हम कॉलेज लेंगे, मिडनाइट को हम लेक्चर्स लेंगे. नो, इट्स वायलेटिंग द रूल्स. ओके, बिकॉज कॉलेजेस वी आर नॉट वर्किंग 24/7. पर अगर न्यूज चैनल बोलेंगे वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू ऑपरेट ओनली ड्यूरिंग द डे टाइम, हम रात में बंद है, या फिर हम रात में ही जब सब लोग चालू है तब हम न्यूज ब्रॉडकास्ट करेंगे, कोई मीनिंग रहता है क्या इसका? नहीं, मीनिंग बिल्कुल नहीं रहता है. अभी देखो हर घड़ी जो महाराष्ट्र के नए रूल्स बन रहे हैं, तो रूल्स आर द फंडामेंटल थिंग्स. ओके, नाउ उसके बाद कंसेप्चुअल मॉडल ऑफ यूएमएल में कॉमन मैकेनिज्म्स. ओके, कॉमन मैकेनिज्म्स जो है वो है फर्स्ट स्पेसिफिकेशन, कि वो सिस्टम जो है वो आपका कर क्या रहा है, उसके अडॉर्नमेंट्स क्या है, उसके कॉमन डिविजन्स क्या है, और उसके एक्सटेंसिबिलिटी मैकेनिज्म्स क्या है. मींस जो हम बोलते हैं ना प्रोजेक्ट में, उसका फ्यूचर स्कोप क्या है, वो क्या कर सकता है आगे, उसके रिस्ट्रिक्शंस क्या है, उसके लिमिटेशंस क्या है. ओके, ये सब आता है कॉमन मैकेनिज्म्स में. सो मोर अबाउट दिस वी विल सी इन द कमिंग लेक्चर्स. ओके, सो नाउ वी विल गो ऑन टू द फर्स्ट बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक. लाइक जो बोला था ना यहाँ पे बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक, सो वन बाय वन वील सी दिस. सो बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स में फर्स्ट चीज है थिंग्स, रिलेशनशिप्स और डायग्राम्स. तो अभी थिंग्स का मीनिंग क्या है? ओके, सो थिंग्स मीन्स स्ट्रक्चरल थिंग्स, strings things means behavioral things, and things means grouping things. Okay, so जो थिंग्स है वो स्ट्रक्चरल है, बिहेवियरल है और ग्रुपिंग है. व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट रिलेशनशिप्स, तो वो जो थिंग्स है उनमें रिलेशनशिप्स कैसे है, इज देयर एनी डिपेंडेंसी, एसोसिएशन, जनरलाइजेशन, रियलाइजेशन. ओके, क्या है? कुछ तो रिलेशनशिप होगा, ऐसे ही एग्जिस्टिंग नहीं होगा, राइट? कि घर है, ऐसे ही सुनसान सड़क पे घर बना है, किसी ने तो बनाया होगा, किसी के लिए तो बनाया होगा, राइट? कोई तो डिपेंडेंट होगा, कोई तो ओनर होगा, राइट? तो थिंग्स है, स्ट्रक्चर है, तो ऑब्वियसली देयर विल बी रिलेशनशिप्स, और रिलेशनशिप्स में कैसे होता है डिपेंडेंसी, मीन्स अगर कोई एक, अभी तुम्हारे यहाँ पे भी तुम फ्रेंड्स हो, लाइक फ्रेंड्स आर थिंग्स, लाइक ग्रुपिंग्स है तुम्हारे बीच में, ओके, प्रोजेक्ट्स ग्रुपिंग्स है, बिहेवियरल है, तुम अच्छे फ्रेंड्स हो, यू एक्सपेक्ट फ्रेंडशिप, राइट। सो अभी मैं बता दूं तुम लोगों में रिलेशनशिप्स कैसे है, देखो डिपेंडेंसी, अगर मेरा फ्रेंड सबमिट करता है असाइनमेंट तो मैं करता हूँ, अगर मेरा फ्रेंड लेक्चर में है तो मैं अटेंड करता हूँ, अगर वो नहीं कर रहा है तो मैं नहीं करता हूँ। तो ये डिपेंडेंसी हो गया एक प्रकार का, और ये रिलेशनशिप भी है, ओके, बिकॉज यू आर डिपेंडिंग। अभी तो फिजिकल में ऐसे ही होता था कि जब तक मेरा फ्रेंड नहीं आता है मैं लेक्चर में पार्किंग में वेट करता हूँ, जब आएगा तो हम साथ साथ जाएंगे। उसके बाद एसोसिएशन, अभी जब, अब देखो तुम लोगों का डिपेंडेंसी है पर मेरा एसोसिएशन है, कि मेरा कैसे, अब जब तक स्टूडेंट्स नहीं आएंगे मैं इस लेक्चर कैसे स्टार्ट करूं, तो भले स्टूडेंट्स मिलके आए या फिर इंडिविजुअली आए, राइट। सो आई एम एज अ फैकल्टी एसोसिएटिंग विथ यू, समझ में आ रहा है। सो मोर अबाउट दीज रिलेशंस, लाइक डिपेंडेंसी को दिखाते कैसे है, एसोसिएशन को दिखाते कैसे है, जनरलाइजेशन को दिखाते कैसे, ये सब चीजें हम देखेंगे। बट रिलेशनशिप्स प्रोमिनेंटली कौन से आते हैं, तो वो आते हैं डिपेंडेंसी, वो आता है जनरलाइजेशन, और वो आता है रियलाइजेशन, ओके। और थिंग्स में जो है, यू हैव स्ट्रक्चरल थिंग्स, यू हैव बिहेवियरल थिंग्स, यू हैव ग्रुपिंग एंड यू हैव अनोटेशनल, ओके। सो अनोटेशनल जो होता है ना, कि हम ऐसे अनऑफिशियली कुछ मैसेज देते हैं, कुछ फ्रेंड के साथ भेजते हैं, तो वो भी हम ये यूएमएल में दिखा सकते हैं, ओके। और जो डायग्राम्स है, तो डायग्राम्स जो है तो कौन से है डायग्राम्स, मेजरली क्लास डायग्राम, ऑब्जेक्ट डायग्राम, यूज केस डायग्राम, और बिहेवियर डायग्राम्स, और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन डायग्राम्स। तो यहाँ पे बस 5 डायग्राम्स मेंशन्ड है, बट एक्चुअली इन यूएमएल वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न 9 diagrams which are broadly classified as the structural diagrams and the behavioral diagrams, okay. Structure means static part, behavioral means the functionality part which is dynamic, okay. So there are different diagrams for structural conceptual of the system, and there are different diagrams for behavioral aspect of the system. So I hope that in today's lecture you have got an understanding of what is UML, what is the definition of UML, what is the history of UML, so what is actually the meaning of modeling language, and what is the meaning of visualization, specifying, constructing, and documenting. Further, I think you have understood what are the conceptual models of UML, okay. So what is included in the building blocks, what is included in the relationships, and what is included in the diagrams, okay. So next aspects of it in detail we'll see in the next lecture. So thank you dear students for your patient listening.